33. Good morning. Everybody seems happy this morning. Good morning, Representative Towns. Good to have you with us. We're so glad that you're here at this 10:30 meeting. Those who were here last year know that it was an 8 o'clock meeting. So we're glad for here this 10:30 meeting of the Transportation Committee for February 4th, 2025, and we have called the meeting to order. I would ask the members to make sure that you are signed in. The system is working. They've gotten a few bugs out of it, and please make sure that you're signed in, because if you don't, we can't take the roll. And my assistant who's manning the microphones won't know where you are if you don't sign in. So please sign in. I'll give you a minute to do that. Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum? Can you take the roll, Madam Clerk? Hit the PNV button. That means present, not voting. That's the same thing as the roll call. Let the record show that Representative Towns is present. Let the record show that Representative Davis is excused. She's not with us today. Madam Clerk, would you take the roll?
Mr. Chairman, you have 20 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I want to welcome the 9 new members to this committee. That's quite a shift from the 113th. So we have a lot of getting acquainted to do, and it's going to be a good encounter, I think. I want to ask the members, if we would start down here with Representative Ben, if you would just go to your right and everybody introduce themselves, and I'll introduce the staff a little bit later, but start there so we'll know who the players are.
Thank you so much. Representative Afton Bain, and I represent the district that you're sitting in. I'm excited to be here.
Representative Harris.
All right, Representative Tori Harris, House District 91, Memphis, Shelby County.
Representative Joe Towns, returning member, Memphis, Tennessee, District 84.
Representative Glenn.
Representative Ronnie Glenn, House District 67. That's in Clarksville, Montgomery County.
Going to my left, Representative Atchley, if you'd introduce yourself.
Fred Atchley, representing the 12th House District, Sevier County.
Representative Russell.
Representative Lowell Russell, the 21st District, half of Monroe and half of Loudon.
Representative Mayberry.
Representative Aaron Mayberry from Clarksville, Montgomery County, a third of it served with Representative Ron Glenn there.
One of our new members, Representative Cheryl.
Thank you. Representing the 43rd District, Warren in White County. Warren County is the national capital of nursery. So we do want to welcome everyone. Thank you.
Another new member, Representative Renault.
Hi, Michelle Renault, representing the District 27, which is the western side of Hamilton County.
Representative Vital.
Representative Greg Vital, eastern half of Hamilton County, District 29.
And Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pat Marsh, District 6-2, which is Bedford, Lincoln, and Moore.
Representative Roberts.
Robert Stevens, I represent District 13, which is the western part of Rutherford County.
My apologies.
No worries.
I got half of it right. Forgive me. Representative Rudd.
Thank you, Representative Chairman Howe. Glad to be back. I am represent District 34, Murfreesboro, Eagleville, and part of Rutherford County.
Representative Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ed Butler. I represent House District 41, which is Overton, Morgan, part of Fentress, part of Anderson, and part of Roane counties. Thank you.
Chairman Todd.
Chris Todd, represented District 73, which is about 2/3 of Madison County around Jackson.
And Chairman Hawk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm David Hawk. I serve Greene County, District 5, and I'd like to introduce myself as Joe Towns, but people have stopped believing that. So looking forward to working with you.
Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Chairman. Representative Rebecca Alexander, representing Washington County, District 7.
And Representative Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dave Wright, representing District 19, the eastern part of Knox County.
And finally, Representative McCalman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Jake McCalman. I have beautiful eastern Williamson County, House District 63. That would be southeast Brentwood, East Franklin, Nolensville, College Grove, Arrington, and a small sliver of Thompson Station.
Thank you, members. Appreciate you doing that. And glad that you all are here. We have an opportunity to do some really good things this year for the people of Tennessee. And I look forward to working with each of you. To the new members, let me encourage you to ask questions. It's the only way you learn sometimes. And with that in mind, I'm going to ask some people who are in the audience to introduce themselves. So you may want to, some point during the session, address your questions to them. One of those, I see Jay. Jay, would you stand and let the committee know who you are? Apparently you have one fan, Jay. Brett, would you mind standing and letting people know who you are?
Work with all 95 counties across the state, so represent all of your districts. Just let me know what we can do to help. Thank you very much.
Brett has a good last name, but as far as I know, we're not related. Ms. Stroker, would you mind? And I've learned if you have any questions about safety, Ms. Stroker is the go-to person along with her colleague, Ben. They can help you find the answer to your questions. Thank you for that. And let me introduce the staff. To my second chair to my right is my assistant, Sarah Hutton, and she's the one who will turn your mics off and on. So treat the chairman nice, okay? That's why it's important for you to sign in. To my left is the transportation attorney, Joel Hayes. You've been with the Transportation Committee how many years, Joel?
At least 6.
At least 6 years, ever since I've been chairman. And anything having to do with transportation, He's your go-to guy, and he knows it all as far as I'm concerned. To my right is probably, in my opinion, the best research analyst in the Cordell Hall is Jeremy Maxwell. He has helped me tremendously. He'll help you too. So you need to know who the players are. Our clerks are Emily Hawkins and Jenna Ream down to the front, and our sergeant at arms is Wayne Hawkins, a gentleman who's been here, I think, as long as I have. I believe. And I want to say a word about our transportation sub chair. That would be this gentleman to my left who said he looks like Joe Towns. A word about Chairman Hawk. He is the longest serving member of the Republican caucus. He's been here 23 years. He is a wealth of institutional knowledge. So let me encourage you, instead of coming to my door on the 5th floor, go up to the 6th floor if you have a question about the institutional knowledge that I can't answer. He's the guy. So go and see him. And so glad to be working with Chairman Hawk. And we happen to, just happened that we happen to share a desk on the House floor and have for a number of years now. And the Vice Chair, Representative Ed Butler, glad to have him as the Vice Chair of this committee, and he's going to be a hard worker as well. Any questions, if I'm not available, address them to the Vice Chairman, and we'll try to find you an answer. We have a great team, and I look forward to working together with you on getting some things done here. I'd like at this time to open the floor for any questions that the members may have. I guess we've answered all your questions. Yes, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and your kind words are appreciated. The committee looks forward to working with you and appreciates the steady hand that you bring to this committee over the years, and looking forward to the work that we will accomplish this year. We've got a lot ahead of us and some opportunities as we go forward. Many parts of our state, Northeast Tennessee in particular, has had some devastating floods that we are recovering from, and the work that transportation has done in a short time to return some of the transportation facilities that we've got there has been incredible, to say the least. We're replacing some bridges, we're replacing an interstate. The investment is largely because and the replacements are largely because of the investment that this General Assembly has made over the last 2 years. So I appreciate the work that this committee is going to accomplish and look forward to working with each of you. Thank you very much, Chairman Howe.
Thank you, Chairman. I, through an oversight, forgot to introduce our committee intern. Lauren, would you stand and let the committee see you? Lauren Cabrera. And she is available to help in any way that you need help with. And so just come and see my assistant, Sarah. And if you need help with Lauren, she will be glad to help as well. Vice Chairman Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to encourage our new members to reach out to Brett Howell, who is a tremendous resource for our highway superintendents in our counties. Been very beneficial to my district, especially Fentress County. Where we had some challenges he helped us work through. And then I do want to encourage him to reach out to Jay Klein as well. He is always willing to assist, and we've had lots of challenges in District 41 over the last year or so that he has been instrumental, and I do appreciate that. I would encourage our new members to use them as a resource. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Representative Glenn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I would like to just ask you, what is your goal for the committee this year? Is there anything that we should be looking at going forward from your perspective?
Oh, wow. You shouldn't have gone there. But thank you for the question. My goal, as it has been for the last, since I've been chairman, is to find additional revenue streams for TDOT. I mean, there are other things that we do that are very important. I don't think there's any more important issue than finding additional revenue streams. Chairman Hawk and I are working on that, and he will have a lot more to say about that in the future. For those of you who are on subcommittee may see that first. But we are at a critical point in Tennessee history where TDOT's budget is probably within 5-10 years at the most, in my opinion, we will be at the point to where we will only be able to maintain what we have because of our budget constraints with TDOT. So we have to find, I'm not talking about raising taxes. I'm talking about finding an additional revenue stream that might be available. Been a lot of discussion behind the scenes about that. And I will continue that discussion. It's a passion of mine. And I'm going to recognize Representative Chairman Hawk to see if he had anything to add to that.
Thank you, Chairman Howell. And to the representative from Clarksville's question and comment, our goals are similar to yours in subcommittee, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Howell. We are to a point where we need to create a more consistent revenue stream. I think we can dip into the general fund to a degree. We saw that with the Modernization Act that we passed, this General Assembly passed 2 years ago, where we took some general fund dollars and have placed those toward ongoing road projects. And we didn't break the bank. I think we've got some opportunities to go forward and create a recurring revenue stream from the general fund that allows us to fund roads and bridges. Transportation needs are all encompassing. We always look at roads and bridges, but we have other transportation needs as well. So looking to create a recurring revenue stream, most likely from a general fund source that we can reprioritize and bring toward the building fund for transportation. Thank you, Chairman.
If I could just add on to that, to give you a little background, Representative Glenn, and some of you may have heard me refer to this before, but in research that I've done as chairman, we first had a gas tax back in 1923. We're 102 years later. We have, back then it was 2 cents. The first gas tax was 2 cents. 102 years later, that 2 cents inflation-wise is worth 36 cents, but our gas tax is only 27 cents. So we've not even kept up with inflation on our gas tax. So the gas tax itself is not sustainable. That's why we have to find an additional revenue stream to maintain, to do what the people of Tennessee expect us to do, to keep the infrastructure up to standards. So I hope that we can make some progress in getting that. Chairman, Representative Towns.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Like Hawk, I've been around here a long time, Mr. Chairman. And one of the things I see possibly, we did the Improve Act, okay? It's a lot of money. Now that money at some point, I don't know what the years are going to be when we will fulfill a lot of the stuff we're trying to do. But that may be a possibility, looking at some of that money as well, to come to transportation, to do the things that may be able, that can be considered as recurring dollars. You talked about a tax. Obviously, we want good roads, especially with what's happening across the country with infrastructure. We know our infrastructure is old across this country. We really do. And God forbid anything happens that we see on television in some of these places, bridge collapsing, people hitting bridges, things like that. That's scary stuff. But in the event that something of that nature did occur, we want to be able to swiftly respond, rebuild, and get commerce and people's lives back together. But hopefully we can do it without some kind of tax. Gas right now is going up. It's high. It's going up really, really high. But hopefully we can do it without putting too much pain on the people. But the people still want safety and bridges that are working and shortcuts to get to certain places, save money with transportation. So I look forward to finding something as well that's going to be workable for all. But I still want to focus on that Improve Act as well. 20 years from now, there's no telling how much money we have there if they're done. All right, Mr. Chairman, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Bain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm really excited to be on this committee, and I will also be presenting a bill that provides an additional revenue stream, which is Pot for Potholes Act, which will be the full legalization of marijuana. And 80% of that revenue will go to the General Highway Fund. So I look forward to presenting that to all of you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. My expectation is we're going to have robust debate. I like to hear different sides of an issue. It helps me learn. Sometimes it even changes my mind. But we will maintain decorum and respect one for another during that robust debate. We will not have any running debates. That's against the rules. And we have an opportunity, as I said earlier, to do some really good things for the people of Tennessee. One thing I want to let you know about is the committee rules. Some of these you already may know. Bills on notice. Bills must be put on notice by 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday before the next scheduled meeting. Bills must be put on notice through the House portal. Paper notices, as in the past, will not be accepted. Committee deadlines, amendment deadlines are as follows. The committees will meet on Monday. The committees that meet on Monday, the deadline will be the close of business day on Friday. For committees that meet on Tuesday, such as this one, and the subcommittee, it's 10 a.m. the day before. So if you want an amendment on a bill for Tuesday meeting, you must do it before 10 a.m. on Monday. Verbal amendments and amendments filed after the deadline shall not be considered. Amendments can only be submitted by email and must come from the email address of the member or their assistant. Witness cards, requests to testify in committee must be submitted to the chairman at least 24 hours prior to the scheduled meeting time. Witness cards can be submitted through the legislative website or filled out in person prior to the start of that meeting. The submission of a witness card is not a guarantee that the witness will have an opportunity to testify because we have time constraints. This committee meets for 1 hour from 10:30 to 11, followed by the subcommittee. Paper will not be distributed. If you want a printed calendar, your assistant can print that for you. Materials must be provided to committee staff electronically. If you're presenting a bill and you want committee staff to see it, you can do it electronically and they can see it on their computer. With that said, I believe we're organized. Representative Vidal.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to reiterate, I know there's been a lot of conversation about roads and bridges, but this committee and the Department of Transportation has a larger scope of responsibility also.
Yes, we do.
And we don't want to forget that we have a lot of discussion coming up on railroad and other infrastructure and waterways. So we just want to include that in that conversation because railroads are going to be a big other alternative option for us, especially between Chattanooga and Nashville and Memphis. Thank you.
Thank you for that point. Yes, there's a lot of robust discussion going on right now about mass transit, and we'll continue that. One person I neglected to introduce, I see Logan back there. Logan, would you stand and introduce yourself and who you're with? Yes. I've communicated with Autumn numerous times, haven't I, Autumn? Thank you. Appreciate all of you who work with us and with the committee. Representative Towns, give you the last word.
Well, Mr. Chairman, it's something that you were saying that actually slipped my mind regarding your comment, and I'm going to have to come back to it because it just fleeted, it just left there. So I'll get back with you on it.
All right. I see another person in the audience that just reminded me, we're working on, for the new members, we try about every 2 years to do an in-depth behind-the-scenes tour of the Nashville airport, which is the Tennessee airport. Let's face it, it's a big regional airport. They have about 20 million passengers come through there every year. And they're expanding rapidly. TDOT does have an aeronautics division, as you know. They have a rail division. And so we will work with Megan Frazier to set up a tour, and I'm sure that the folks at BNA will be glad to host us and give us a behind-the-scene tour so that you can see where our tax dollars are going with regard to air traffic and transportation. All right, that's all I have as far as organizational. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So move. We are adjourned.